Coming up on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, we will explain why this guy, Rashee Rice, is the Chiefs' biggest X factor for the 2024 campaign. We'll go over everything you need to know about Rashee Rice heading into this season in just a matter of moments. Before we do, let's show some love to Rashee Rice. If you want Rashee to have a big season like today's video, who knows? He may be watching somebody in his family or inner circle. We want to make our voices heard loud and clear that we're rooting on Rashee Rice to have a big season in 2024. Do your part, like the video, and we'll get going here on today's show. On this edition of the Chiefs Report, we're going to break down piece by piece why Rashee Rice is the biggest X factor for the Chiefs' success in 2024. And I want to break this down in parts with the legal aspect, also when it comes to the on the field, and then the leadership role that's going to be asked of him as well here in 2024. Let's start with recapping the offseason with the legal issues for Rashee Rice and where things stand right now. Back on March 30th, there was the car crash where he was charged with 8 felonies. That was followed up weeks later with a nightclub assault in Dallas, the same place that the car crash occurred. The charges were ultimately dropped, and then within a few days later, there was reports of an alleged shooting when he was a player at SMU. And the NFL, according to an update that came out this week from Pro Football Talk, they have not met with Rashee Rice over any of these ongoing investigations, these allegations that are out there. They haven't had any discussions with Rashee Rice. And Pro Football Talk took it a step further and said that a suspension for Rashee Rice is not likely coming anytime soon. That doesn't mean that he won't be suspended, but at least in the short term, it doesn't seem like things are headed that direction, at least right now anyway. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio explains the following. There are 2 possible ways that Rice could miss the opener against the Ravens. 1, he'd miss the game if he's suspended without pay under the personal conduct policy. 2, he'd miss the game if he's placed on the commissioner exempt list, the NFL's name for paid leave. As to the possibility of an unpaid suspension, the league does not take such action until the underlying criminal case has ended. It is not. Rice's case is pending, and there's currently no reason to believe it will end soon. Even if it would resolve today with a plea deal, there simply isn't enough time for the NFL to conclude a disciplinary process that now includes a third party who finds the facts and issues the decision. As to the potential for paid leave, that hasn't happened yet. If it hasn't happened yet, why would it happen in the next 3 weeks? Although a felony charge makes the player eligible for paid leave, the league typically uses it only in the case of domestic violence. And so the NFL has kind of changed how they've gone about these legal issues in the past. We saw a lot over the years. I think everybody thinks kind of Ray Rice and some of these others where the NFL was quick to go with a suspension before the legal process played itself out. And now they've kind of course corrected. They've changed things of that they want to wait till the legal process fully plays out before they hand out suspensions. And so that works out to Rashee Rice and the Chiefs' favor on this. The NFL did release a statement to Pro Football Talk on Rashee Rice, and they said the following. We have been monitoring developments in the matter. Following the conclusion of the legal process, the NFL will review the matter under the personal conduct policy. So there you have it. That all backs up exactly what Pro Football Talk is talking about, that it just doesn't seem likely that we will have an answer to a suspension before the season begins. So in all likelihood, the Chiefs will have Rashee Rice for the opener against the Ravens and for the rest of the season beyond that. Let's ask you, should the NFL suspend Rashee Rice? Type Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite team play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have this new thing called Super Deals. And if you stumble upon a super deal, then you have really found something, folks. Here's how it works. Choose the event you want to go to, whether it's a Kansas City Chiefs game, Kansas City Royals, Sporting KC, all sorts of different options to choose from. They got the prices listed. You then choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, get the visual, and then you're checking out just like that with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So now that we know that Rashee Rice will be here, more than likely, for the start of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, what does he have in store for year two, his next chapter here in Kansas City? Well, after a very impressive training camp and preseason, expectations are sky high for Rashee Rice here in KC. Patrick Mahomes had this to say recently on Rashee Rice. I think he's going to be a lot better this year, honestly, just the way he's able to run routes. It was coming along at the end of last year, but he worked on it this whole offseason, and he's in great shape. He's coming in. He's running great routes. I mean, even one of the plays, I looked to the left, and it wasn't covered, and he was kind of the backside. And he won against a guy in man-to-man coverage, caught the ball, and makes the positive play. And those are the little things that I think he's going to continue to get better and better at. Rice had a really good rookie season last year for Kansas City. But now, as we look forward to this upcoming year and beyond, there's another step for him to take, right? He has a chance to become a star in this league. And I don't ever think that he's going to be a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase of that magnitude. But he can be one of the upper echelon receivers in this league. I think this year's a good step in taking that next direction. You look at what he did last season in Kansas City, was a part of that Super Bowl team, of course, as a rookie. Also was very good in the postseason, set the NFL record for most postseason receptions by a rookie with 26. And you think about this, last year, this Chiefs offense was limited when it came to options in the receiving game. And Rashee Rice, as a rookie, still learning everything, picked up this offense pretty quickly. I go back to the Detroit Lions game week 1 and was already an impact player and ended the year with close to 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, close to 12 yards of reception, over 100 targets last year. I thought it was very impressive for Rashee Rice, and I think he'll continue to build off that. And what we saw in the preseason from Rashee Rice was that the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and company, made a point to get him involved. It doesn't look like Hollywood Brown's going to be able to go week 1, and we'll see when he makes his return. Xavier Worthy, of course, a rookie. He's looked very good, but going to be a learning curve for him. They're going to need Rashee Rice to be that X factor to step up. And so far, what we've seen, he's ready to take on that larger role here in Kansas City this year. Do you believe in Rashee Rice? Is this going to be a big season for him or not? Weigh in, let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comments section. We are bringing you Chiefs watch parties all year long here on the channel. We'll be live for the season opener against the Baltimore Ravens on the opening Thursday night when they put the banner up. Don't miss out on that. We're also going to continue to bring you our daily news and rumors, our live shows on Tuesday afternoons, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, and more. The latest happenings on your Kansas City Chiefs are covered each and every day here on the Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. So the last thing that we'll touch on today when it comes to Rashee Rice is him taking on not just a bigger role on the field, but also off the field as well. He's going to be asked to be a leader on this Chiefs team. And I know some people are going to shake their heads a little bit when they see what's happened this offseason, but for Rashee Rice, it's about turning the page and getting back to football. And we've already seen it. Mecole Hardman had this to say within the last week or so on Rashee Rice. Number 4 has a year under his belt now, Super Bowl win. He's come along very well. He's more of a leader. He's starting to come into his own. He knows his role for sure. He's the main guy, and I think he takes that with pride. And then Rashee Rice himself also alluded to the same thing of what is being asked of him to do a little bit more. He said, it's very important to be at training camp just because I got to be out here, still be a part of this team, and we get to dominate and focus on our goal this year. So for Rashee Rice, it's all football now. It's about leading this receiving core and going forward from there. And you can see with the Chiefs receiving core, there's a lot of question marks entering 2024. It's no secret about that, but they are much improved from what they were last season. We'll see when Marquise Brown gets back. Xavier Worthy I'm high on, but then everything else is kind of up in the air at this point. And I think for Rashee Rice, it's about consistency, bringing it week in and week out. And personally, I think 1,000 yards, which he came very close to hitting as a rookie, that should be the minimum. I think that when you look at Rashee Rice, he should be able to be in that upper echelon, to be trusted as a go-to receiver for Patrick Mahomes and company, like we saw in the preseason. And Mahomes continues to say nice things about Rashee Rice to this point. He said Rice could always work in space and catch the ball and run and explosive, which is super important. I think he's getting better and better at winning one-on-one and winning with routes, and I think that's going to help his game go to that next level. And the more he can win those one-on-ones, that's also going to make life easier on guys like Travis Kelce too, to take away pressure off of Kelce potentially and more focus on Rashee Rice. I think he's being underestimated a bit. The folks at StatMuse put together their stat projections for 2024, and this is just one example. There's others out there of stat projections for Rashee Rice, and everybody's kind of selling this guy short. StatMuse is saying that he's going to have even worse numbers than he did as a rookie, that he'll have a decent year but take a step back. They're projecting him to have 75 catches, less than 900 yards, less than 12 yards of reception, and about 7.5 touchdowns is that number that they have for him there. I think he goes over 1,000. The analytics nerds think he goes well under that. What do you guys think? Will Rashee Rice reach 1,000 receiving yards this season? Weigh in, let us know. Type O for under, U for under. Chime in. Thanks for joining us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. If you want Rashee Rice to have a big year this season, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it, and we'll see you next time here on the channel.